So what I can say is I do study psychology and the nursing by my background that we talked about education. I speak other four languages. I'm a Reiki master and a wellness practitioner, so that's by the trade. I'm also an author, so I do write book. I have two books coming out, and one of them is Mr. Paul Dale Roberts, but I'm honored to have him because he's actually going to be helping me out about one or two chapters in there talking about his experience with Count Dracula and the past about the Count Dracula. My second book is going to be with my partner in crime, the person I call like my older brother, and that's Mr. Basically Texas Front Porch. So that's my big bro. We call him Big Tex. And then I wrote Magic of the Spirit League. This is a true story and survival in a fight for a life that I wrote after my mother did survive the third stage of a cancer. I'm a born medium, third generation, starting from my great grandmother, and I am ascendant of many people, including basically some of the people that you really know through the history. That will be the great Teresa from the monarchy. I'm really connected to Austrian-Hungary monarchy and Napoleon Bonaparte, and my great uncle that I'm really fighting for in the book that's coming out. That's Vlad Tepes, or actually the Count. So that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
Now, Xandean, is this the first time that he's met you? So I bet you he has a couple questions there.
Well, I'm impressed because, like,
it'll be my pleasure.
I'm impressed, and I'm thinking, as you're telling me, as I'm listening, I'm thinking, what a bloodline, would have to be special to, to survive a person that has that many talents up to this point. Like, it would make sense. Do you find yourself, like, when you're around people that don't have those talents, do you find yourself wanting to help them and do help, or do you sometimes, because they might not understand all the things that you know? What do you do in those cases when you have so many gifts like that?
Oh, that's such a beautiful question, and thank you for the compliments. If we go from the gifts that I'm born with, I always feel that I wanted to help people, and was in the beginning was really hard because I couldn't understand the gifts myself. Being a child and seeing certain things, you need some support and somebody to guide you. And I'm really, really blessed that I had a wonderful mother that supported me to all of this because she was raised in that kind of family of naturalists and healers. Myself now, as I'm becoming older, Mr. Smith, I can tell you, I feel even more stronger now that I wanted to help people. I can touch a person and I can feel if they're ill or if they're having a positive or negative energy. I can also feel, if they're having a bad day or something. So I may connect with you and I will say, you know what? This is what I feel you should do. But it's up to you. Sometimes it can be hard because sometimes the news can be bad and sometimes the news can be good. But I feel always that I want to help as much as I can.
That's amazing. Okay, so you're really aware of your gift and really know how to use it. That's amazing.
Hey, Danielle, I believe you remember Phil.
Thank you.
From the sanitarium. Phil's dying to ask you all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Nice seeing you again.
Sure, please, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember we had a conversation.
Hello, Phil. I love the hat. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. You look great. I remember we talked last time about a female medium.
Thank you.
That was blind, but was given another form of sight. You kept talking about it. I think it was a woman who was blinded as a child, and
Baba Vanga or Grandma Vanga?
Baba Vanga.
Yes.
Yeah, that's her. That's the woman.
Yes.
Yeah. There was an alien. Was it an alien connection with her gift? Was that? Or am I remembering it wrong? since nobody else on this podcast has heard that
No,
story.
you're actually remembering.
I love that. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
I know Xandean would find this interesting. You mind going through that? I knew you were just full of knowledge about it. You really knew a lot about it.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So she's born Ana Gustera. So she actually, like, her Baba, what it means grandma. Most of the Balkan world uses word Baba, what it means grandma. She as a child was born in the normal family, and they were actually keeping they were, for the and basically was a huge store. And at the time Ana Gustera was taking care of the sheep, the store came up and it was a huge blizzard. Most of the animals ran away, and she didn't know where to hide. She hid behind one of the bushes, but the storm was so strong and there was so much dust that it blew into her face. They said that she looked almost like she was under the sandblaster, something that we would use today for making the asphalt. And so she ended up being in a hospital, and they say she became legally blind. But at that time, she was under the trauma, and she was a child, maybe 14, 15. And they said, why are you were blind? They said, no. And the doctor said, how can I help you? And she said, no, they're capable of seeing many things, through the other side of the world. His fungi is really second, just like the Michel de Notre Dame, or Michel de Dame, is then she opened it. The person that was given to the dreams by by some, let's say, spiritual religion that we believe in now. So this was coming also from different means, from a different planet. She explained that they look very similar to the tall grey, but they were not harming her. And she was capable of seeing World War II. She was capable of saying who will be a first American president, will be African American gentleman. The towers are from that horrible.
I think what made Baba Vanga notorious for her predictions is because they say that she predicted 9/11 and the coming of Barack Obama. And one of her predictions, which hasn't come true yet, and I'm still waiting for it, is she thinks that Putin is going to have an assassination attempt. So she's amazing.
He did have an assassination attempt.
He did.
Yeah, Putin did Putin would regularly send out his driver without him in just empty cars. Yeah.
He did have it.
Oh, I missed that whole thing. So go ahead, Phil.
Yes.
So
yes.
What was the?
There's video of it online, but this was a high-speed freeway. You could see Putin's vehicle traveling, but Putin wasn't in it. It was just his driver. And literally from the other side, almost through a guardrail, another car came across and hit it head-on and killed the driver.
Wow.
But Putin wasn't in it. And that's just one of the attempts. There may have been others that the media didn't cover, but that one did make it through, and there's footage of it.
That one I totally missed, and I read the Daily News all the time. Thank you, Phil, for that information.
No worries.
Wow.
No worries.
Baba Vanga is something that people don't understand, but the truth, what it is, she's actually saying that we will have the World War III, and the World War III will happen in the stars. So that will be mostly, by, like she was saying, these super machines that she couldn't explain. But this will be mostly like by artificial intelligence, by drones, by the rockets that were happening above in the sky, less than what is happening on the ground or on the Mother Earth. She also said, unfortunately, that in this world there will be the war will start around 3 years, 3 to 4 years, and then when all of that technology goes up, that will be really hard to put it down, and there will be many lives lost.
Danielle, is she still alive or is she dead?
No, she passed away. She passed away in Bulgaria because that's originally where she was born from. Bulgaria is a very poor country, and so she was healing herself mostly inside of the Belgrade. Capital city of former Yugoslavia, all those countries there. But when she was buried, she did write many, many books, and capable of getting it. Quite interesting what we're gonna, face in coming days. I did do my own calculation about 2 years ago. I was interviewed by another podcast, and everything that I said actually came true, because I said there will be different kind of issues, in the world between different countries. Yes.
Danielle, your audio is just a little bit shaky. Phil is having a hard time getting some of the audio. I'm having a little bit. Xandean, can you hear her okay?
And I'm trying to see how to
it's
fix
really good
it.
information. But it's the transmission.
Yeah. I actually, do you guys want me to log in and log out? Because I can tell you all about the prophecy. How?
Do you mind trying that, Danielle?
Yeah,
That'll help.
Okay, yeah, do that,
Of
Danielle.
course, I don't mind. I will
Thank
try
you very
again.
much.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll do it again.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Well, hey, you guys, as you can see there, she's full of knowledge and everything else. One of the things I want to know is, I know she's been in Eastern Europe. I think she was born there, in Romania. Did she ever go to Bulgaria where that psychic is and meet that woman, or,
Yeah.
She didn't mention that when I spoke to her at one point, but I honestly don't know. I think she may have actually been to the castle where Vlad Tepes, his castle still exists.
Okay.
So does
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'm also curious as to where she said she's a generational psychic, psychic from birth, and I think that's pretty interesting. Xandean, you touched on another podcast where you asked somebody where they get their power from or where their psychic, source comes from, and I'm interested to see where Danielle's comes from, especially since it's hereditary or it appears.
Yeah. I thought about that when you said that. Has she said anything to you about like, is she like genetically different, or is like, anybody trying to get after her for blood type or anything weird like that?
I have not heard anything like that, but it's apparently the gift runs in the family. So her mother, her grandmother, that type of thing.
and when did she learn that she was related to Dracula?
23andMe.
No, yeah. I know. I've actually had it done. Have you guys had it done?
Yeah, I've had it done.
Yeah. How about you, Xandean?
I've had something. My dad, my son, they're real big on all that, but I really don't.
I had mine done with Ancestry.com.
Yeah, I had them both.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
It pretty much thinks I am what I am, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And what's really interesting though is they hook you up with cousins and nephews and stuff that you don't even.
That's true.
That you don't even know about.
Yeah, my son he found a lot of relatives and like long people that we didn't know whose father was this or that, and different last names. Like we thought one last name was one like in a dare for like many years, and then it turned out to be like a meteor or something. It's like totally like it's just wow. Like
Danielle, we were just the reason why we're talking about ancestry is because we were discussing your ancestry, and Paul had a great question: is that when did you discover your relation to Vlad Tepes?
Is she back?
We knew about this, and after my saying like it's stay. So can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Just sure. So this thing through my family, a lot of times my family suffered their companies at the time, and many of them in a way. Our own school that was called he's not like but just got killed. Was a and basically elementary school that was actually a broken grandfather. So most times the fact it's and they have the traditions, the culture, and beliefs to themselves. Many of them scatter all around the world. That's why a lot of states all around the Europe, and so it exists there a long time. But when I was a child, I was 90s. They have been still basically the name. And that was really expensive back home in Europe when I was a child. Did a couple years ago to the Ancestry.com. And actually, my mother was the first one who did it. And the reason why we did it, because we knew everything was coming through her line. And we didn't know about Nicola Copernicus, for example, that he's also very close to us. But when you see it's all connected to the same Austro-Hungary, there's some Irish and British, and then of course you have the Romanian. But I don't have what is quite interesting. I don't have any other blood that it's even the country that I'm born with. It's not connected to the origin where I'm coming from. It's basically because the people were running away, escaping from the communism at that time and being scattered all around to the Europe. But yeah, it's been Phil in my family for a long time, and just in 2022, forgive me, 2021, we actually get originally the paper from the Ancestry.com. So that's how it came.
Hey Danielle, I gotta tell you something. We're gonna
So
get
that's confirming.
we're gonna be cut off. We're gonna be cut off really quick. So don't panic. You're gonna get another link so we can finish up the interview.
Yeah, I just sent off that link.
Okay,
This one's
no
gonna
problem.
this one's gonna end in about 5 minutes, but I
Yeah.
want to use every bit of the 5 minutes, especially because your audio sounds good at the moment.
It's
So
good. No?
we'll take advantage of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were also discussing, or I had a question about the source of your gift. You said it's generational. I assume you mean your mother and your grandmother, or you know, said
Yes.